Well, hey everybody. Sorry to be the bearers of bad news, but for those of you that are looking in the live chat, you do know the fact that our pal Chris Claremont was going to be unable to join us at a time that worked for me. So it's a little bit of a mix up on him, but it's also just my crazy schedule because I am so important. No, I have to take my kids to their Mandarin lesson for so there just isn't enough time. But I wanted to let everybody know that he is very apologetic that he missed it. And we are going to reschedule either for the end of next week or possibly the week after. We will let everybody know. But the important thing that we want to make sure that you all know is that we are doing our show, a regular episode of our show, tonight. So, depending on where you live, it's well, actually, everywhere you live, I guess, except for Hawaii, it's going to be Wednesday morning. So we're going to talk about the What If season finale tonight at 12:30 a.m. Pacific time. Michael, that's 2:30 for you. Are you ready?
Finally, you guys are doing something at my time.
I know. Instead of making you get up at 1 p.m.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
like
prime sleeping time for you.
crazy. Yeah.
And 3:30 for our friends on the East Coast. We wanted to do a live reaction to the finale.
You wanted to do a live reaction.
Well, it's a couple of dominoes started to fall into place. I'd wanted to do this for a while, and also our pal Jeff wasn't going to be able to make it for the show again. So I was like, this is the time to do it. Also, my schedule tomorrow also crazy. So in any case, we are going to do as I'm explaining right now. And Daniel, you'll be up because you're always tweeting. You watch it, and Daniel, I think you're in the Washington D.C. area, right? So you'll be up at 3:30 in the morning. So please, everybody, join us. And I think that this is going to be great for our pal Craig Robinson, because I don't quite know what time it'll be in the UK, but it'll be like, I don't know. It'll be like what, like 9 in the morning or something? Or maybe Craig, maybe you're not going to be up. Maybe that's going to be a problem. And no, Daniel, this will be instead of the regular show time.
But you can watch it at the same time tomorrow.
Yeah. We're going to tweet out the link at the same time, but we want everybody to watch it. And oh my gosh, Cami Egan, you're going to wake up to join the chat. I mean, you got to watch the show.
Ooh, la.
So if you're watching the show live, we appreciate it.
I'm thinking about doing mine from bed.
I think you should. By the way, Cami Egan popped into our Blackcast Major League Baseball playoff prediction episode. And Cami Egan wears many hats and was able to be a big part of the show. So it'll be great. And it looks like Craig's going to be able to be there. Daniel's going to be able to be there. Cami Egan, you're in the same time zone as Michael. I can't try to persuade any of you to be up that late, but I do think it's going to be very fun. And Daniel says they've released the title of the finale episode. I've seen some artwork they had of Gamora, but go ahead and tell us what the title of the episode is in the chat, Daniel. We'll do it in a way where people can either look at it or look away. And yeah, I don't know. We had a lot of stuff to talk to Chris Claremont about today, but he is in the middle of Brooklyn and
really ridiculous stuff.
Well, to be fair, he has a big weekend at New York Comic Con, and I was going to ask him about it, but now when we talk to him about it, we can ask him how it went. And I was going to talk to him about, the last time we talked to him in December, he was working on this, so of course. I got
looks heavy.
It is, but this is really just for show, this part.
Okay.
This is really what it is.
Oh, please.
This is the volume in here.
That's deceiving.
And so there's stuff in there that I wanted to talk to him about. And there was also like an extra Wolverine story that he wrote. Wolverine and oddly enough, though, included were two books that he didn't write, but these were newer. Like this one's a Hickman book. But what do you think of this Do you like these action figure variant covers, Michael?
I want to. Like,
Yeah. But like
like
this one in particular, because it's Gene, I thought you might like it.
I thought about. They're also doing trading card covers,
Yeah, I've seen
and
those. Yeah.
I was unsure, and I was like, I need to see it in real life. But when you look at it in real life, it doesn't quite translate right. But it is neat when you turn them over. The back is like the back of the card. I think, like me, like 15 years ago, would have liked this, but it's a little too
Yeah.
too on the
Yeah,
nose for me.
There's I think it's an issue of X-Men Legends that I got a Havoc action figure variant because my local shop was sold out of the regular cover, so I had to pick from one of the variants, and I'm like, oh, I'll get that one. That one's kind of cool. But yeah, I think in general, that's not one of my favorites. And Cami Egan asks a very important question. That's a beautiful set. What did that cost?
I was about to say it's probably like 200 bucks.
So, we say that quietly around the house, but I bought it.
You say it quietly.
I bought it last summer. So, and it finally came somewhere in the spring. It took a little while, but yeah. And, it's got, I mean, if you want to look up what's in there, but it's got the Dark Phoenix saga. It's got Days of Future Past.
Gene!
It's got, well, it wasn't called Uncanny at the time, but it's got Uncanny 94, which is Chris's first issue because he didn't write giant size X-Men. Len Wein did. And it's got Uncanny 258 or 268, the one with that's the flashback with Captain America and Black Widow, which is one of the best Jim Lee covers and also a great standalone.
I don't know that I would say it was one of the best, but it is a good one.
I mean, that's one of the best standalones. The best standalone is still Uncanny. Yeah, Uncanny 205, the Lone Wolf, Wolverine in the Snow with Amnesia. That is still, I think, the best standalone regular issue for me. But yeah, so there's a lot to talk to him about that. And then we were going to talk to him. This is good though, because Michael and I will be able to better coordinate the flow of our conversations. I actually got like 5 or 6 like really good questions from people on Twitter. So we will get to those. If you have any questions for him in the chat, tweet them at me. Don't put them in the chat now because I'm not smart enough to be able to screen grab it while we're doing the show. But tweet me at Christian DMZ, like it says right there. If you have specific questions for him, we will, I'm going to use the opportunity, the fact that he was unable to make this scheduled time. The last time we talked to him, Michael, the actual show is 2 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm going at least 2:13 this time.
Yeah, I've got like a bedpan over here.
Yeah. Well,
so
here's the thing. The first time I ever talked to him, I was told I was going to get a half hour with him. I had 90 minutes with him.
Yeah.
And about 50 minutes in, I had to go to the bathroom so badly, but I just kept talking to him because I was like this is going so well. And anybody that wants to hear that conversation, by the way, that is Blackcast episode 39. Literally tweet at me. I'll send you the link. That's
the last half hour. All that you're thinking about is like peeing.
Yeah. But, I talked to him about Marvel Team Up number 74, which I don't know that people would usually talk to him about. It's Spider-Man and the not ready for primetime players. So Peter goes to a taping of Saturday Night Live, and the entire cast is in that. And that's an issue that has never been reprinted. It was contractually it was allowed as like a one-off. But yeah,
this is the first I'm hearing of that. That sounds really cool.
I mean, considering what an SNL nerd I was,
wait, what year was this? So I can kind of think of the cast.
It's the original cast. So like,
okay.
Belushi, geez, sorry, John Belushi, Gilda Radner, and they're all in it and stuff. Yeah. Let's see. Let me find it, and I will show you about it. So I talked to him about that. I talked to him about a lot of good stuff like that, just random stuff. And but it was funny because I took up so much of his time, and I don't think I talked to him again for like 5 years. I just felt like, I didn't want to bother him. But I think in the years since, I've realized like it's not going to be a problem when, you tell him what an admirer you are of his work.
Oh, he loves that.
He appreciates hearing it. And by the way, deservedly so. All right. So this is sort of not going to be like if we were doing, and look, we appreciate everybody watching this.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys.
Yeah, we are sorry that we may have let you down, but I want to show what this actually looked like. So I think I can zoom in a little bit, but no, I guess not. I would have to. But so there it is. It's Spider-Man and the Not Ready for Primetime Players. There's John Belushi as the samurai. You've got Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Gilda Radner, Lorraine Newman, Jane Curtin, Garrett Morris. So the entire original cast is there. And that cast shows up as their characters. Because they're doing the live show, and you might see in the box right here that is 70s Stan Lee, because in this fictional episode of the show, Stan was hosting SNL.
Oh, okay.
And you can probably, I don't know actually if you can buy this digitally, because of the fact that they weren't allowed to reprint it. So what you might need to do is actually go to your comic shop and buy it. But I guarantee that it does not have tremendous value.
You can find that on eBay, probably.
Yeah, especially if you just want to read it, and you're not looking for like a mint copy of that.
Yeah.
Craig says he wants to watch that interview just to see me squirm. That Blackcast 39, that was when it was only an audio podcast, so we don't have video of that. I think if it had gone a little bit longer, I probably would have had to pee in a Gatorade bottle or something. But I tried to hold it in. I was in a professional studio. I there were people all around. It wasn't like these days doing it at home. And Daniel asked, did Stan ever actually host SNL? He did not. So it's great that Chris was able to.
I bet he would have been good, actually.
Oh, I think he definitely would have been good. He would have been good at that time period, and he would have been, even better like 10 years ago, when he became the more iconic Stan Lee, And let's see, Cami Egan, that is one cool cover. I laughed like crazy. The SNL Superhero Party skit, and Garrett Morris is dressed like Ant-Man, and I think John Belushi is the Hulk. There's a mixture, I think, of Marvel and DC characters. That is a pretty good sketch, actually. And it's hard to find those, though, because NBC Universal, very quick to tamp down on any kind of copyright infringement. Anyway, so let's see. I know the Twitter name. I can tweet at Cam A. Egan. I can tweet at Daniel. Craig, I think I follow you on Twitter. Let me know, and I will tweet all of you the link if you want to listen to a conversation I had with Chris Claremont in, I think, 2013. The Wolverine was new at that point. I added it up after the last time I talked to him. I believe I've talked to him for 10 hours over
my
5 interviews. And one of them was in person. There's only audio for it, but I did it in person at a convention in Southern California. Daniel, that would have been my favorite episode of SNL if he had hosted. So I agree. That would have been fun. But look, Stan's great in Mallrats. You can think what you want about that movie, and depending on what you feel about Kevin Smith, it's a very, very specific kind of very specific sort of movie that he does. I enjoyed his movies, especially I was just starting college when Clerks came out, so that was right in my wheelhouse. But Stan is uncanny. He's astonishing. He is all of the superlatives that Stan would use in Mallrats. That sort of brought about the kind of reinvention of Stan, as sort of like the beloved, almost like the Yoda of comic books, basically. So
I feel like it's funny you say that, because I was just watching that on NBC. It was Peacock,
of course,
and I feel like that movie didn't really translate well.
It probably didn't age well. It was not.
That's what I meant. Sorry,
it was not successful in its moment. His follow-up movie, Chasing Amy, I would say is a much better movie. I think that there was too much budget thrown at maybe at the production for that one. But Mallrats was fun when I saw it. And there are friends that I recommended it to back then who hated it. So that's when I started to realize I'm like, okay, not everybody likes everything I like.
Or I like the Joey. What's her name?
Joey Lauren Adams.
Yeah, I like her a little bit in that.
Well, I mean, she's like topless in like half the movie. So but anyway, so I am sorry that you just have Michael and I to listen to and not the great Chris Claremont, but we will have that soon. And here's a deal I'll make. I will guarantee Cam Egan, Daniel Drew, and Craig Robinson, if you have a question for Chris Claremont and you send it to me, I will definitely read it because you guys were all nice enough to stick around and watch this. So,
make it good.
Well, you know what? Make it good. But I'm promising that I'm gonna ask it now. So
there were some really good questions. I was looking through them, and one of them was basically a question I was gonna ask. So we're gonna get.
Which one was that? It's okay.
The gender identity and queerness.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah, there's a great account. It's called Connor Reads X-Men. There's a few of these accounts, and I tweeted at them to basically solicit some of some questions for Claremont. And
you was hoeing out the show.
Yeah, no, I was, but I also was like, I don't think that any of them are people that have ever actually talked to him. So I was like, I know that they all have sort of very specific approaches towards reading. There's all these different feeds and websites that literally just look at Claremont's run on X-Men. So yeah, Connor Reads X-Men said if he could have made any of the subtextually queer relationships into canon. I clicked away from it somehow. But I was looking there it goes, it's back. Yeah, look at that. This is
God, you're such a dad.
I know, right?
Oh, God.
But yeah, so there's a couple of those kind of questions. That's not the one you were talking about. So I think
that is the one I was talking about.
Oh, that is the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, any of this, yeah, and that is actually something that I was going to talk to him about. Kitty and Rachel, and I think we're supposed to call her Kate now, but she's Kitty. So anyway,
it's kind of how like when you wrote your letter to the editor, you were Chris, and now you're Christian.
I still don't know either why I did that or why they shortened it.
It sounded cool, I bet to you.
It probably did, although I never wanted to be called that. So I don't
call me that.
No, kind of. I mean, that's what I did in real life.
I don't like it when people call me Mike.
Yeah. Yeah. So Daniel, you're going to have to remind me exactly what the Star Wars thing is, because we'll trade messages about it. Because I remember you sent it to me, but I have to make sure I get it right. So let's trade messages about it. And so Cam Egan says, I've never seen Mallrats, but really liked Zach and Miri make a porno. In general, I've enjoyed Kevin Smith's movies. Even Jersey Girl, I thought wasn't
oh, please. Don't make me do it. Wait, that's Liv Tyler, right?
I think so. But George Carlin's in it. I mean, he's, so
don't make me drop another Liv Tyler, like, cancel culture joke.
That's true. Yeah, you need to be nice to Steven Tyler's daughter.
I don't even think they talk. Whatever.
I mean, they hadn't for like her whole life, and then he, puts her in a few videos, and that starts her movie career. So good for Liv Tyler.
She got to go to the Met Gala in the 90s too.
I mean, in the 90s, sure. I literally thought you were about to say she just went to the latest.
Yeah, right.
Like, really? She did? Yeah. So Cam Egan has a great question. Michael, who's on your T-shirt? You can stand up and show it off.
Yeah, I literally dressed up for Chris. Oh, what are you doing to me?
No, I did it the wrong way.
Yeah. So I've got this awesome Phoenix shirt on. It's got that, and it's got a really important quote. I'm fire and life incarnate, now and forever. Thanks, Christian.
Yeah, well, I wanted
For
to
my
show
solo.
Come on, yeah. I mean,
I
that's
look like
really
I need to be doing a drum solo or something.
that's really
right now.
why people tune in, is that they want to see you.
It's all about the
Um,
fashions.
Yeah. Well, my shirt, I actually wore this another time, but I also realized that usually you don't get to see my shirts. But this is one that I liked that I spotted on a website and bought, which is the cover box.
I love that one so much. I think that is just the
Especially
right amount
because
of kitsch.
it's for Uncanny 129.
Yeah.
First appearance of not Dazzler.
I have that comic. Isn't that the one with Kitty like doing this against the wall?
That's the first appearance of Kitty. Yeah. The first appearance
that
of
is
Dazzler.
her first appearance.
Yeah. First appearance of Dazzler is the next issue, which is also an amazing cover.
I have that.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one where she's skating around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have that signed by Chris, and I got that like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I have I have books signed by him that I got signed at a convention in 1993 in New York. They didn't even call it New York Comic Con then. It was just a New York Comic Convention. And I think the limit was you didn't have to pay for signatures back then, but they also didn't authenticate. And
you have to pay now?
Yeah, but I mean, that's for everybody. That's not just.
Oh, I thought that was just a Shannon Doherty thing at Anaheim Comic Con.
No. It's like for him, it's like $5 a signature. I think 10 if you want them authentic.
Oh, Steve.
Well,
that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider what it costs to do a CGC signing, I've shown that Secret Wars 8 that I had CGC.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying it costs like $125.
I mean, it's basically the price of a comic book for the signature.
That's true. So yeah, I had a whole stack of X-Men comics that I had him sign. I also brought, and this is the part I've talked about before. I brought his novel, First Flight, which our friend Rachel actually read.
She did,
and then I didn't realize she had to go. So
she was gone.
She never got to tell him to ask him those questions. So
we can tell him.
Yeah, maybe one day we can talk about it. So anyway, so I brought his book, and he even said to me, he's like, well, you have my book, so I'll sign everything that you brought. And I'm like, yes. So that worked out nicely. But now those books, so I have Uncanny 141 and 142, both Days of Future Past. I have the first Gambit, a couple other ones. If I want those authenticated, I need to now bring them to Ontario. What is it called? Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario, California. Chris will be there in December. So I'm like, I just want the authentication. I'll even retroactively pay for the signature. I need him to look at it and be like, yeah, that's my signature, so that I can prove, because it basically
it's changed a little bit, his signature.
Yeah. It has, and he also used he didn't use a Sharpie. He used like a different style pen that was more common back in the early 90s. Now everybody just uses different color Sharpies. So so that's something that I'll talk to him about, and I don't know. So I'm gonna dive through all the messages that you and I sent, and we'll have like a real game plan. We'll bring in all these questions, and Daniel's already messaged me about the Star Wars line. So I will find it.
Wait, is Chris writing about Star Wars?
No, so I'm not quite sure what it was that Daniel sent me. I only vaguely remember, so I need to find it. But he did write some Star Wars stories. He wrote a few issues of Star Wars.
Like in the 70s?
Early 80s.
Okay.
He did a couple of Star Wars stories between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and Walt Simonson did the artwork in a few of them. And I think those stories were actually intended as like John Carter Warlord of Mars stories, and then they figured out a way to adapt them into Star Wars because Walt had already done some of the art.
That's a movie I'll never watch.
Well, the one with Taylor Kitsch? Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Did you see it?
No. But he also did a Star Wars annual. He did write some Star Wars, and I asked him about it once because He has a lot of opinions on Star Wars.
I would think that he wouldn't care for it.
No, he likes the original trilogy. I think that he has a lot of.
Well, that's what I mean, like the new stuff.
Yeah. No. He had some. Yeah, that's another. He thought very similarly about The Last Jedi from what I thought about it. So obviously he's right.
I thought it was about as good as the prequel, the last ones.
It's all about the same. It's like you just watch the original 3 and you can stop unless you really, really want to see more. That's my approach to that. But anyway, all right. Well, thank you to everybody who joined us for this little mini show. And please get a nap, set your alarms, watch the What If finale tonight, and we hope to see all of you. I think we'll get a different crowd than we usually have. We're going to have the Night Owls who are going to be surprised that they're like, what do you mean you're doing a show right now? Oh, okay. So here it is. This is what Daniel's reminding me of. It was a paragraph that someone wrote in a special where one of the artists or writers mentioned that he said something or did something in line when the office went, oh, yeah. So the entire Marvel bullpen went to go see Star Wars. I remember the story now. Thanks for reminding me, Daniel. And Chris went and waited in line, and he had like a good spot in line. And the whole bullpen came over. So, like 30 people like got behind him in line. So, yeah, I'll definitely ask him about that. I forgot that that's specifically what it was. But it's probably a fun memory of fun times working in the Marvel bullpen, which, as a kid seemed like it must have been fun, but who knows? Anyway, all right, everybody. So we will do this properly at some point in the next week or two, and that will also be we've got a lot of weeks before Hawkeye starts up. So now that this show isn't going to have been today, that'll be instead of a regular Wednesday show. So stay tuned. But if you can stay up tonight, as I mentioned at the top of this little mini stream, that at 12:30 a.m. Tonight / Wednesday morning, we'll be doing a live reaction to the season finale of What If. So please join us for that. And that will be our only show this week. Next week's show is going to be a Venom reaction show that we're doing. Let's see who's on that. It's myself, Eric, Jeff, who, if you follow Jeff on social media, you know how he feels about Venom 2. I believe Caitlin will be with us.
And dragons.
And we're going to talk a lot about dragons. And Eric Nagel, who hosts a show called It's Eric Nagel. He was a producer on Opie and Anthony for a long time. If people know him, we were trading messages about the movie, just personal messages. We were texting each other about it. And I was like, oh, you should come on the show about it. So you'll get to see that next week. And Daniel, yes, I do know all your thoughts, and I will try to incorporate some of them when we record that show. I'm letting those of you on the stream know that even though that's going to go up next Wednesday, we are going to record it ahead of time. So yeah, Craig, get some rest. We'll see you late tonight. We'll see everybody late tonight. And of course, follow I Hate Michael Shirley on Instagram and Michael X Shirley, which is the only place that Michael could express himself yesterday without Instagram and Facebook, not the Facebook. And of course, me at Christian DMZ. And you know what, Kim Egan, I have not seen the Peacemaker teaser. I did like I thought that the Suicide Squad was a lot of fun, and the idea of a Peacemaker show, I think, could actually be also a lot of fun. So I will look for that, and I'll let you know what I thought. Follow me at Christian DMZ, and then join us tonight, and we will talk to everybody then. Even though it's not a real show, I'll still give everybody a nice big Excelsior.